Hello, IGN. My name is Jose Otero, and I'm joined by Brian Altano.
Hi.
Brian, so we're going to give the folks at home a taste of Hyrule Warriors. It's out right now in Japan under a different title. It's called Zelda Muso.
How did you get it?
Import, son.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
how
to
we
get
do
on
it.
that.
Yeah, so we're going to play, hopefully there aren't spoilers here that you can see, but we're going to play the first stage and just show you what the first 5 minutes are like.
Sure.
Roughly. Obviously, as you can tell from this, I've been playing a little bit. I've unlocked some characters. We talked about it on the podcast. This is the opening cutscene, which shows Zelda.
Very beautiful so far.
It's a big harp, though, man. What's up?
You know, it's nice to see these characters in HD.
Yes.
Like this.
Yeah,
We got a taste of it with the Wind Waker, but obviously that's a very stylized version of the Zelda series.
Yeah, we don't normally see Zelda characters in cutscenes, really, especially in the games that they're in. Not like this. Like, this is a dedicated cutscene engine versus, like, in-game graphics. You know what I mean? But you're right.
So you've been playing the import copy. How safe is it for somebody who doesn't speak a lot of English?
Or
a lot of Japanese?
Oh, man. Oh, no, it doesn't speak a lot of English. So wait a minute. Hold on.
A lot of English might be easier.
Yeah. It's not too difficult.
Okay.
I mean, the hardest part is probably fusing weapons, which is something, if you saw the Hyrule Warriors Direct, you know that in this game you sort of slot attributes into other weapons. So that menu is kind of tough to get around. But, you know, I've also done this before.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of goofed around with import versions.
Oh,
but
here
you
he
know
is.
who that is, and he's in training.
That's right.
And he's serious business.
It's
Actually,
Macaulay Culkin.
Yep. In the beginning of the game, he's dressed in the first stage just like that.
He's dressed like the knights he has to hide from in Ocarina of Time on the way to her this castle right here.
Yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten about that scene briefly in my head. Yeah, you're there as a kid.
Mm-hmm. She's got a gigantic sword.
Yeah, Impa means business. That sword is really
She stole
amazing.
that straight out of Final Fantasy.
She stole that sword out of Final Fantasy too.
Yep.
So this is basically the backdrop. Obviously, if you know there's a language barrier, you're getting just the bare essentials here. The point is more to just show you sort of what you're going to experience in those first couple minutes. And we see, you know, Dynasty Warriors is no stranger to battles, big battles at a huge scale. And so this game is roughly a Dynasty Warriors game, but it has sort of a Zelda coating on top. So there's a lot of homages and winks and nods to, you know, Link, Zelda, different games they've been in, different characters. Like it's heavy.
I gotta say, right off the bat, I wasn't expecting really any story at all. But it's cool to see that there's some cutscenes.
Yeah, and there's a narrator
like
right now. I mean, we can't hear it very well because, you know, our voiceover is going over hers. But you're right. There is some effort to do a story here, even though it's kind of a Zelda fever dream in some ways. But it's still pretty cool and pretty faithful. So let's just load out.
Wow, look at these maps.
Yep.
It's nuts.
So folks may have seen this demo before. I mean, this is the standard level they showed when they unveiled the game back in December. And also at E3, this was one of the stages that we got to play. And it's right in front of Hyrule Castle. Also, so I've beefed up Link a little bit, so you're going to see him do moves that he probably wouldn't be able to do normally. Yeah,
it's
right?
An awesome move. I want to be able to do that move in regular Zelda games now, too.
See, and you can charge up his strong attack and then let it go, and he just 100 right there. KO.
Now, we've learned that, you know, this is sort of like this massive giant Zelda mixtape. There's characters, there's enemies, there's bosses. There's also areas, right? Now, some are taken from different Zelda games. It's sort of like just a big catch-all of Zelda love. What's this right now?
So this
is sort of generic.
Yeah, this is sort of a generic, like its own space, its own world. Like this is the world that these characters live in.
Oh, so you can chop down
grass,
blades
of grass and stuff. And I already have the bombs, so I'm just going to use them here. But if not, you would acquire them for the first time.
So that was a lot more bombs than we're used to seeing. Usually Link throws one bomb. You just threw like 30 of them.
Yeah, and you actually use them to fight Dodongo. That way, I hope I'm saying his name right. So if you notice, there are these red crystals in each of these sort of mini areas. And this is where enemies continue to respawn from. And I know for some folks that's kind of an eyesore, right? Like enemies spawning into battle. Yeah, I get that. But it's kind of how these Dynasty Warrior games have worked. And so what happens here is you keep fighting in this area. until that shows up. See the guy with the L targeting over his head? This game does have L targeting.
Sure.
He's sort of like a boss, if you would. Not really, because as you can see, he went down really fast. But when I take him out, now my troops can spawn here, and I now own this territory. And so the way, again, if you haven't played a Dynasty Warriors game in a while, essentially you are going from place to place, putting out fires and doing, good deeds and all that. Ooh, he got that. Okay.
Now, Jose, our 5 minutes is up.
Is it? All right, let me just run over to this fight right here.
But I kind of want to keep going a little bit. Can we keep going a little bit?
You know what? We can keep going in the next video for sure, because we're going to do co-op. And I really want you to play, because I want people to
Who's
see
this guy?
What you think. This is one of the new villains in the game. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, so I apologize to viewers at home. Yeah, but he is, in one stage, he was kind of a handful. In this one, he's not so much, especially because, again, Link is kind of beefed up right now.
So slap that guy around.
Yeah, we'll end on this cutscene right after this fight. Another thing that's cool from Zelda, if you notice, there was a little icon over his head a second ago. If an enemy misses a combo, they have that thing in Zelda where when someone misses and you capitalize on the counter, you get sort of a musical note or a cue that goes off as well. Yes, just like from Wind Waker. And so a meter shows up. If you wear down that meter, you get a really strong attack as a result. And so, yeah, there's layers of ideas from Zelda games, which I think folks will appreciate. It's not just, in some ways it is standard Dynasty Warriors, but in others it is trying to be something else.
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest positive takeaways so far is that this isn't just a Dynasty Warrior game skinned with Zelda characters, which that was my fear from the jump.
Yep.
And now I'm seeing that there's a lot more love put into this and a lot more lore everywhere, which is really cool to see.
And oh my God, you know what he has? Triforce of Courage.
Already?
Yep. Well, I mean,
he's just handing those things out these days.
Yeah, he's discovered it, I guess. All right, so we'll wrap there. Definitely check out. We're gonna have more Let's Plays. Brian's gonna actually play. I guess we're gonna play a game together, a couple games. So make sure you keep it locked right here, I guess, for more Hyrule Warriors coverage.
Yeah, right here
at IGN.
At IGN.